Hello and happy Wednesday, everybody. Josh here with On the Wrong Lead. First thing, I do want to shout out my friend Bill for getting me this lovely Sergio. Oh, wrong side. Sergio Perez jersey here. So thank you, Fox, for the lovely jersey I'm gonna wear here. But I got a lot of people to introduce, and none of them are well. I don't know, Matthew. No, Matthew's got most of his hair, so no, none of them are bald. We'll go with that. But all right, we'll go with the college boy first, Mr. Caleb. How you doing, Caleb?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to be back. It's been a little while.
Yeah,
you're for the holiday season.
You're back home in West Virginia. You're coming to us in low definition off the
Yes.
off of the laptop there. It's funny, right? Like that laptop costs about the amount of like I don't know, 5 or 6 car payments, but they still put literally the cheapest like cameras they possibly can in these things.
Dude, it's all
ridiculous.
laptops. They just skimp on the camera so bad. But yeah, it's also probably our West Virginia dial-up internet doesn't help either.
Okay, so next I'm gonna go to the person who's probably on the most drugs in actually that might be tough. Nah, okay, there's a clear person here. Chase, Mr. Wolf of Oak Lawn, aka the AI savant, apparently. You have just absolutely flooded my timeline, or what I don't even know what Twitter calls it anymore, but just absolutely flooded me with AI art. And I am both disgusted, intrigued, a lot of words, and I don't know if it's just the excessive amount of Cuban chains, both real and fake, that you're wearing and are on your AR art. But
don't forget the wrist.
Oh yeah, the wrist one. That's a new one. I've never seen that before. So
yeah, I like to say the wrist is icy, like I fell at a little girl's roller skating birthday party.
Funny enough, the person I knew who wore the most Cuban chains was my uncle, who got busted for license for bribes. So there's that.
Yeah,
two things you have in common.
Yeah, exactly.
And Caleb, I just want to say, for not only just for me, but for America, thank you for Skyping in from the most festive barracks in Syria. God bless you. Thank you for your service.
At least I can do.
All right. Next up, apparently I just found out something new about this person. Apparently the same age as Ed DeRosa. Mr. Matthew DeSantis, how are you doing?
Troubling.
And a lot more hair. And
yep.
So
yeah, come on, Josh.
Much more hair. Dude, you want to know what's funny? Is I'm so used to seeing you with a hat that I had to literally think. I was like, wait, he's got hair, right?
I got a lot of it.
God. And dude, we went out for drinks and hung out like so much this last summer, and I'm just like I just still envision you with the hat. And that was pretty bad. But how you doing, Matt?
I'm doing well, man. The hat has always been for the purpose of containing the hair rather than hiding the hair. But yeah, man, doing well. Excited to talk to you guys and a couple of other guests that we have coming up. But exciting year in horse racing and some exciting stuff coming up even over the next week or so before 2023 closes out.
And speaking of containing, just somebody, I mean, absolutely, last but not least, we're saving the best for last here. Someone who absolutely cannot be contained is a menace to society when and without drinking juice, right? Isn't that the movie?
Yeah, don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sarah Labadwi, how you doing, Sarah?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on. It's been a while since I've talked to everybody in this room at once. A couple of them are frequent flyers in my life, but great to chat with Josh and Caleb, who I feel like I haven't seen in forever.
Yeah, it was. We were up. We had this last minute plan to go up to Saratoga, and so we were up there a weekend. And I think it was both your birthday weekend, and I think you had some you had some like health stuff or something going on.
Yeah.
And it
All
was
rings
just
a
like a
bell.
bad. It was just like a bad week. Like we kept on trying to get you to come out, and Matthew's like, "Yeah, she's not feeling great," or "No, she's got plans." And so it was like it was tough, especially because we were only there for a couple of days. But we'll make you make up for it this summer for sure. So.
Good. I hope you do.
But how's everyone doing? Is Naira officially on break, or do we have a couple more race days? I forget.
We got a couple more race days coming up. We're going to be racing next weekend, 28th, 29th, 31st.
Okay.
So, yeah, we still got 4 more race days. We got 8 races on Thursday and Friday. Those cards are already drawn. Morning lines are already out. So you can start getting ready for the cards next Thursday and Friday.
Cool. Yeah, and Matthew, I do want to shout out. I did see your most recent post with the handicapping 101, the betting, the beginning betting stuff you put up in Naira Bets, which is always good. And obviously, of course, that's a lot of the stuff that we try and work on. So I echoed pretty. I basically read it and I was like, "Yep, agree with this, agree with this, agree with this." So it was great. So if you guys haven't, check it out. Great resource to forward on to your friends who constantly bug you for picks and then yell at you when they don't win. But not that that's ever happened to me. That's never happened. But
yeah,
I did.
But I will say I want to thank you, Josh, for taking a look over it because I sent that to you, before it went public, and Chase, same to you, and Sarah as well, and Caleb. I didn't know where the hell you were, so I didn't send it to you. But
No, it's fine. I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt at all.
But I appreciate you guys looking over it and just giving me your feedback and thoughts. And obviously, it's a betting and handicapping 101, but the assumption is and the plan is for there to be a 201, a 301, a 401, for there to be more advanced discussions for not just beginning bettors, but intermediate and advanced bettors as well. So we'll start getting into more advanced things like pick 5 ticket structures, etc. So a lot of great stuff there.
Look at this. We have a celebrity here in chat, Mr. Colin Sheehan. I haven't seen him in a while.
I've gotten to do 2 things with Colin recently, and it was like just a ton of fun both times. I'm a Colin Sheehan fan.
I am too.
So I did ask Matt Carlson, who I do You Gotta Be Shot-Tinning Me podcast.
Best name.
And he had
it feels like low-hanging fruit a little bit, but that's the best and most flavorful fruit,
I mean, sometimes you just got to take the layup, but he was unable to make it. He's got he had some holiday party today. Mark is apparently in St. Martin, I don't know. I asked him last week. He's like, "Yeah, I can make whatever day work." And then all of a sudden, like this week, he's sending me pictures from the island, and I'm like, why didn't you just tell me last week you couldn't make it? But typical Mark response there. And then Andrew Champagne actually sent in a video, so I'm going to play this real quick here.
Hi everybody, this is.
Okay, that one. Oh, it doesn't let me change it. You're going to get a real zoomed in look at his face here. Sorry.
Hi everybody, this is Andrew Champagne. Very sorry that I couldn't make tonight's On the Wrong Lead holiday special of sorts, but I did want to send something in to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all that fun stuff, and to once again say thank you. This year was not the easiest of years for me for a couple of different reasons, and there were times where I was pretty far down, and a lot of you out there really helped me get through a lot of the worst of that. A lot of really good things have happened these last couple of weeks of 2023, things that I'm excited about, things that I'm really looking forward to in 2024. Once again, very sorry I couldn't make tonight's special, but I did want to send something in, wishing you and yours the happiest of holiday seasons, and to thank all of you who were there for me when I really needed that. So thank you very much, and I will see you all sooner rather than later.
It's amazing he didn't get a Lord's Mile reference in there.
I was waiting for it.
I know I was waiting for it too when he sent it to me originally. I'm just sitting there just waiting for it. But
was I the only one who couldn't make eye contact? For that? I had to just look down at my lap.
I mean, it was it was funny because I was playing around with it beforehand and it let me switch the perspective. And so I just thought I could do that live, but apparently you can't. So
if that face would have shined a mag light at me and been like, "Where's the shit?" I would have been like, "It's in the cupboard." I'll tell you exactly where it is.
Yeah. Foxhound's saying that with some editing, this could be in the Rocky Horror remake. So,
I never thought I'd be that close to Andrew, but
have you met Andrew before?
Yeah.
Very
Do you
tall
know-
individual.
Do you know that Andrew actually grew up in a town over from my hometown, which is like the smallest little town in upstate New York? So he knows like all of the same places that no one else has ever heard of.
Yeah. Have you ever heard his joke
Probably
about
not.
that? Like, I forget what he says, but he calls you like the third best handicapper from that area or something.
Who's
It's a-
the first? Because
Apparently, him and his father are I
Oh,
think where he puts
okay.
one and
Yeah.
two. But
I see.
yeah, and then he's got a joke for Raylu Gutierrez, how he's like the only person who went to some sunny school that he likes or something. I forget. I'm sorry that we couldn't get all the Andrewisms today, but yeah, we just picked today didn't work with his schedule, but I mean, I'm really glad, we didn't have anything planned. This is going to be nice, and Merry Christmas, everyone. Josh here, on the wrong lead. As you can see, I have gathered some of my favorite people together for a nice celebration of horse racing, of just the entire year. Nice holiday, get together here. That's Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. We got all kinds of holidays depending on what you celebrate. But tonight we're going to celebrate a different holiday, a little holiday known as Festivus. Yes, Festivus, holiday for the rest of us. And I got a lot of problems with you people. You're all going to hear about it. The airing of grievances, obviously the most important part of the Festivus holiday. And right now Mark is somewhere in the Caribbean. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Maybe he is going to join us for this. Maybe he's here. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But I've been accused of some very, very nasty things. And Mark talks about all the strays he catches. But if there's one stray that I catch all the time, something called Josh handicapping. What is Josh handicapping, you might say? I've been accused of handicapping pick fives in 5 minutes. Like maybe there's a little bit of truth to that, but I was thinking, with all of the just crazy nonsense that Chase comes up with, I thought, why don't we put this theory to the test? I have a member of the On the Wrong League community, my friend Bill Foxhound. He has graciously selected 5 races for us to handicap. I do not know them. He has them hidden on a website that is not going to go live until the stream goes live. And yeah, let's see who can handicap the best in 5 minutes here. Good luck. And happy Festivus. Dude, the fact that everybody was very suspicious this entire time. I mean, Matthew was texting Chase. Chase kept on asking me, nothing prepared? Are you sure? And I had this idea months ago when Matthew was just telling me, hey, I just saw the podcast, saw the stuff that Chase came up with, and just like I forget the names of all your contests, Chase, but they usually involve the word pain, suffering, other things in there.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't get a chance to name this one. Bill named it the Someone Has to Win Cup, apparently. And I keep talking just so everyone gets a chance to hopefully click on this link. But we got
what day is this? Are the races
Friday
for the pick five?
Friday. Yeah,
Okay,
I had to pick Friday because those are actually drawn. So you're gonna need Tampa Fairgrounds and Turfway Park.
Yep.
In case you have not seen that yet. And I won't start the timer until everybody kind of gives me a nod here that they are ready to go. Unfortunately for me, my optics subscription ran out, so this is going to take me probably 4 or 5 minutes as opposed to 2. but we'll get this figured out. Here.
All right. We're Friday, Tampa Fairgrounds and Turfway.
Yeah, and I was told there was a theme. So I don't know what the theme is. I don't know if he just like found all the races that had like Christmas horses in it or something, but he said there
Doesn't
was
look
a
like there's
theme.
any dirt. Maybe that's part of it.
There's no dirt. I mean, maybe that's nice.
Yeah, it's turf and synthetic.
Okay,
So.
there we go.
All right.
The other surfaces.
Exactly. The surfaces of what was it? God, is it God surfaces? Is that what we're calling them? I forget. What did you call them, Chase? Since you have a name for them?
What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh,
I feel
full
at first
field maiden
like
figures.
I'm not paying attention because I feel attacked, and
I'm like, I need a
back
pet.
in a defensive posture.
I'm still trying to pull off from that music.
The real tragedy of
I'm
this,
so
the real
happy.
tragedy is that
I was
Mark isn't
playing.
here because this would have given Mark so much anxiety,
So
and
much
that would have been
anxiety.
probably about 90% of my enjoyment off of this.
Mark would have singled all 5 legs with a favorite. I don't know what we're talking
Can you
about.
imagine?
But
Can you imagine
what I will say is,
how fast?
I will say that I had DRF pulled up because I knew something like this was going to freaking happen. So,
I honestly looked at Turfway tonight because I felt like this was going to happen. I was like, let me take a peek here, see what they're going to do.
All right. I will wait for everyone to kind of give me a nod here that we are good.
I'm ready.
All right, we're ready.
Let's do
I'm
it.
ready.
Let me
Yep.
start a timer somewhere, but we got 5 minutes.
All right.
Are
I'll
we
give
coming up
myself
with a ticket or picks?
just picks.
Just picks.
So
Okay, great.
yep, and then if you have time, give me an alternate. I'll put together a sheet too. I don't need that much time, so I will get a sheet.
So just one horse race.
We're
is
putting
that right?
together like a whole pick 5 sequence, right?
We're just gonna do win place, $2 win place.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Got it. All right. Yeah.
Okay, timer's going.
That's the
Get the
exciting
sheet
part where the
together.
audience watches in silence for 5 minutes.
Oh,
All
I'm
right.
gonna pull up. What are you talking about, Caleb? I'm gonna pull up the PPs and cap this thing as we go. Are you kidding me? This
I
will
was gonna
be
say you can
Alright.
look for that music for him. but it's in the
I've
news.
got my pick for Tampa Bay race 3 here. Is that what we're on? Is that what we're doing? Is that how?
Oh no, you got to get the whole thing done. So you might want to.
Oh, okay.
You might want to keep working there, buddy.
He's like, I'm done.
Need something to jot down.
I haven't even downloaded all the PPs yet. You guys got a big head start here. Okay. All right. So what are we starting with? Tampa race 3. All right. So as usual, I start with pace. So I'm just going to scroll to the bottom here. And of course, we're going to get some first-time starters. Caleb has also accused me of only using the Brisnet summary for handicapping. But that's only partially true. Let's take a look at this 10 code enforcer. Not a fan. Let's see here. Man, that 2 is so short and he hasn't run well. Seems like the kind of race that you might want to look at a first-time starter, but the first-time starters also don't look great. Well, maybe the 11.
Are these the thoughts that go through your brain while you're handicapping?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe this one.
Hey,
I basically just like, that horse is 2 to 1. I'm gonna pretend like that horse isn't even in the race.
you? What is your thing? That's just the Herman's head approach that we're getting here is fantastic.
We got 2 minutes and 25 seconds left.
Oh fuck.
Oh, that's a lot.
All right, we'll go with 11.
Okay, fair.
We'll go 11-10 here. Tampa race 5. Have you guys actually been watching Tampa?
I did watch today with my free time.
No. If I want to watch bad jockeys, I'll watch something else. So terrible jockey, Conley.
There
I
are
haven't
worse
watched
people.
Tampa in years.
Since the COVID years.
Yeah, since the COVID years.
I'll take the 9 in this race. 9-6. Fairgrounds race 4.
I just remembered I was at Turfway instead of.
No, we got a
Tampa.
minute and 16 seconds. This is going to come down. It's going to be pretty close.
Coming down to the
here.
wire.
Hey, buddy.
Fairgrounds. I don't see any speed. What's going on here? Oh, the 11. There we go. Turfway 7 and 1. One time, let there be a Ravelli horse.
Race 7.
It takes me half as much time just to find the right races.
Race 7. I'm going to take the chalk in race 7 because I can't. Oh, I got 25 seconds still. I can cap a whole nother 5 races. Take a look at race 1 again.
I don't have any alternates except for the first race,
That's
but I've
fine.
got picks.
We'll give you the we'll do post time favorite as to be nice.
Am I gonna have to like go through and explain why? Oh Christ!
And time's up.
All
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let me pull up the old Google sheet here.
Actually, I switched the last one.
I should have done the thing that they do on what is it?
While
the
you're
cooking
struggling
shows,
to
like
find your
Knives
next
Up.
word, I can't believe that you just fucking like dinner party murder mystery.
Yeah, you're like, well, I've gathered you here
Son of a
today.
bitch.
Yeah. So I told the funny thing is the only person, well, Matt, I've actually pitched this idea to before. And
Yeah.
that was like, I think it'd be funny, since Chase has been coming up with all these fun little, games. I'm like, we should just invite him to a game, invite Sarah, and just not tell him that he's getting pulled into a game. So if anybody should have had an inkling into what was going on, it should have been Matt. And his spidey senses were definitely tingling because he was texting Chase for sure, trying to figure out what's going on. But
Yeah.
so Tampa race 3, I got the 11 and the 10. Chase, who you got?
I've got the 8, Joe from Kiev, and then my alternate was the 9, El Rojo Vivo.
Matt?
For race 3 at Tampa, my top selection was the 6, Jew Daddy, and my second choice was the 10, Code Enforcer.
Caleb?
Well, since Mark's not here, in honor of him, I took the chalk, the number 2, Jailhouse Justice. I didn't take an alt, so just whoever.
All right. And Sarah?
3, Noble Star, and then alternate 6, Zoo Daddy.
Interesting. None of us ended up on. Do we have any same horses? Doesn't look like it.
No.
So, all right, Tampa 5. And then let me pull up this 5. What did I write down? Oh, I got the 9 and the 6. And funny enough, I handicapped the wrong race. I handicapped the 4th race. So because that's what I have written down. That's what we're gonna go with.
It counts.
So I hope there's a 9 and a 6 in this next race.
There is.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
You
go.
have spectacular. What is it? 9? No, sorry, Bahamian Native, and the 6, fittingly enough, Lena's Jazz.
there you go.
Uh,
It's all according to plan.
All right,
Chase?
back to me. Then I have the 8, Spectacular Luck.
Matt.
I have the 6, the aforementioned 6, Lena's Jazz as my top selection, and the number 5, Dunedin Causeway as my second choice.
Caleb.
I took the number 2, Noble Factor, is my top pick, and then the 1 Sheer Delight is an alternate.
And Sarah.
5 Dunedin Causeway, and then the 1 Sheer Delight.
All right. And then I think it was, hopefully I kept the right Fairgrounds race then. Fairgrounds 4?
Fairgrounds
All
4.
right. I got the 11. I didn't have an alt, I don't think. So I just got the 11 here. This time blue. No idea why. But
I can verify that you either got the right race or we both were on the wrong race together.
oh, you know what? I just looked at early pace because this is Fairgrounds, and that's the top early pace horse last time out. So
I went with the 7 Giano, Larry Ravelli. It was slow last time and packed it in, so I think this one could actually be early speed.
Stop showing off with your
10.
reasons.
Matt,
He started it. He started it with the talking and with the logic
Yeah.
and the reasons.
So my top selection is the number 12. Max is G Money. And my second selection is the number 7 Giano or Ravelli.
nice. Caleb,
I took the number 8, very satisfactory. Alternate selection was the 11, same as you.
all right, and Sarah.
The 3 Performance Plus, and then for my alternate, the number 2 Spoken Code.
All right, and then we got Turfway. Turfway race 1. Yeah, apparently I took an MTO at his first pick as my first pick. That's not great. I have the 7 Video Princess, and then I have the 2 as my alternate Pittori d'Oro here. Chase.
I had the 7 Video Princess.
Matt.
I had the 3 Cozy Magic. And then I have my second selection, or my backup, is the number 9 Rockabilly.
All right, and Caleb.
I took the 4 on top, and the 11 is an alternate. The 4 is literary.
All right, and Sarah.
Number 8 Squash Blossom, and then the 3 is my alternate.
I love me and Josh like night track, outside post bombing, just Turfway. Yeah, I love it. I love it, Josh. I see what you're doing. I see you, cuz. I see you.
And then we got Turfway race 7. I have only the 10 written down because I was trying to show off and go back and handicap another race. Chase.
I've got the 9. She's a small town girl.
Matt.
I'm going with some bombs here. I got the number 2 Daisy Jones as my top selection, and my backup is a 30-1 choice, the number 11.
Love it. Love it.
Caleb.
I took the 7 Ava Storm on top. I didn't have a backup.
And Sarah.
5 Lady Robo, and then the 6 Take Shape as my alternate.
Looking at these numbers,
Someone's definitely gonna win. Ain't gonna be no ties.
Okay, there was at least one horse in common among all of us, right?
Yeah, me and Josh had one horse in common. We were the only.
Yeah, I'm trying to like move these closer because I didn't format the sheet at all. I think there were a couple of backups. You know, my alt.
Yeah, there's some backup similarities.
My alt that I capped the wrong race on matched up with Matt's top pick.
And then you and I had the same alt for the Tampa 3 as well.
So,
Um,
yeah, I mean, oh, dude, I don't know. I feel like I'm out of practice. That was much harder than it normally is. But I also didn't have the aid of optics tonight, so.
I think when it's all on one card, like you can roll through it real fast, like that. Just especially when it's a sequence. When you're jumping around from PPs and switching tracks and surfaces and everything, that was truly a painful experience as someone who likes to give his tournaments names involving Zapane, which now I have to have you bastards on for one because you sprung this on me. But I won't do this like dramatic dinner theater performance that Josh has done to everyone else.
I mean, this really was, just the long con game to get both you and Mark back at the same time. mostly Mark, but unfortunately he dodged it by fleeing the country. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I can really blame him. So
And then I'm sure he's going to dodge a murder of a young lady on the island by flying back to the country.
goodness gracious. Oh man. But yeah, so Chase, what else you got going on? I know you've been doing the AI art stuff.
Yeah.
And you still doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And apparently you're now a slots influencer as well.
Oh
Since,
yeah. Yeah.
I saw that video. That was pretty entertaining. That's definitely not me at the casino at all. But yeah,
Right.
what else you got going on?
Other than that, just life with the kids, a little oak lawn going. Like let's see, I took Madeline to a father-daughter dance like a couple weeks ago, which was like she didn't want to dance with me, and I have a family policy of no cha-cha sliding or cupid shuffling. I don't like to be told what to do. And then yeah, I got to go hang out at Oak Lawn last Friday, and that was awesome. Got to I met Nancy Holthus and Crystal doing a show before, but got to meet them in person and got to hang out with Matt Dinnerman and watch him do a race call. And it was really awesome. It was a really fun time at the track. I'm trying for the last little bit, I've been trying to shake tout life off of me. Like I've been doing things like handicapping a card and not having picks before the day starts and actually feel like handicapping again instead of picking. It's been an adjustment too. It's been it was like Dewey Cox whenever he's in rehab. It's I simultaneously need more blankets and less blankets all at the same time. Yeah.
Well, it's funny speaking of that because I was talking with Matthew about this over the summer, and it was even funny because I fell victim to this too. I think I texted him sometime on like a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday asking who he liked in a certain race. He's like, Josh, he's like, I'm on Saturday, man. I'm like that was last week. Like I got that thing done a while ago. And when you have to cap things so far in advance, just how especially if you got to keep doing it, right? Like sometimes I'll cap Saturday, I don't know, maybe an hour before the race, instead of just 5 minutes. But I don't know about that was a joke, FYI. But I don't know if I have to doing that and having to kind of constantly stay ahead, just how hard that would be. And I think Sarah, when you've been doing that for Naira, do you feel like your handicapping suffers? Do you find yourself having to go back over it when you're actually trying to make plays and play tournaments and maybe not even just with Naira tracks, if you're playing other tracks, do you find having those two different mentalities or you kind of have to keep them separate, or do you think that all that preparation does help, even though, like you said, conditions change and horses scratch and all that?
I think it's both. I mean, I'll get to a certain day that I might have looked at several days ago and be like, who the hell is this? And what did I write? And why do I like this horse for no reason at all? And then they win. Or on the other hand, you'll get to a race and you'll be like, I know all of you because I watched your last race and your last 3 races, and I already did the deep dive on who this horse is and what they've been doing lately. So I think that is the benefit of following one circuit so closely for especially this last month, because I've had to go through every single card in full detail and talk about it, that as we get into this end of the month, now I can look at a card coming up and be like, I know all these horses already, so it takes so much less time. But to start, it's definitely a lot more work to remember why I liked certain horses and be able to talk about them and to not mix them up, because honestly, a lot of these horses kind of look the same after a while.
Matthew?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's funny. I wrote an article that's up on Naira Bets for the Gun Runner, which is Saturday. And if you were like, Matthew, who's in the Gun Runner? I'd be like, I have no idea right now. I wrote about it and then I forgot about it. And because I moved on to getting ready for Santa Anita and Turfway and, Gulfstream this weekend and the all stakes pick 4 there. So you just move from one thing to the next. And then, that's where, taking notes and Sarah does a great job at taking very studious notes on things, and I use DRF and the kind of the note taker function there, and that's where you go back and you're like, oh, that's why okay, that's the angle I liked on this horse, or that's the reason I like this one. You have to kind of remind yourself a little bit. But to Sarah's point, you do get to see these horses a lot when you follow one circuit, and you kind of know what they are and what they aren't by that point, and who got a good trip or who got a golden rail or things like that. So you can kind of get a better sense of how they're going to perform on another day. But I will say, like, Sarah saved me so many times where she's like, no, risk it and risk free are two different horses actually. She's like, risk it is on the Derby trail, risk free is 0 for 20. Like those are, so you do get like your names mixed up sometimes and stuff like that, where just a kernel of an idea is, holding on in your head. But it's, but I love it. I mean, I love following, and with doing stuff for Naira Bets, I'm following, a lot of different circuits, not just Naira. So I'm doing stuff at the fairgrounds, and I'm doing stuff out at Santa Anita and Gulfstream and Oaklawn. And, so I'm kind of pinging around, and it's a lot of fun, but it does kind of make your head spin a little bit when people, text you out of the blue or something like that. And they're like, hey, who do you like in the 7th race at Oaklawn today? I'm like, I have no idea. But I'll go back and look at my notes and find something for you.
Yeah, Caleb's definitely got a better memory for stuff like that, because like we'll be doing a stream and I'll be like, oh, I like this horse. And he's like, yeah, but that last race, the rail wasn't great and stuff. And like, I don't know if he just remembers that or if like he's got notes for it. But like me, I'm the exact opposite. Like if it's not on the piece of paper in front of me, like I have no clue. I don't remember horses' names. I don't remember
Every
horses'
horse
names.
name has like blent together to me. Like I really don't. I'm so bad about remembering horse names.
I don't remember horses' names during the race. I'm like, I don't know. I like the 7 here.
Yeah,
and like I'm listening to the race call. I'm not watching it. I have no idea who my horse is. Like,
unless it's like if it's a European race where I'm like, I like the star-bellied Sneech jockey right here. That's who I'm on. Yeah, I for me, like, I'm glad I'm not doing the tip sheets anymore, because I don't have the like chivalrous need to play what's on my tip sheet, like, so that like I don't feel like I'm like pulling one over on anybody and not playing my own picks and everything. So now like I'm seriously trying to just completely be like free and open and make some Josh Rodriguez jazz whenever I go there, and kind of red pill myself at the track, if you will. Just a real like, gambling red pilling.
I mean, is there anything worse though than like when like we'll do a show, and like I'll do the work, and then I'm like, I don't really like the sequence, or I really like this one horse, and then like I don't bet it, and then it just like runs off the screen, and it's like 20-1, and then you get that text from that one person like, oh man, you really like that horse, and I was like, well, I kind of like the horse, like, oh well, I bet it, and I was like, oh
Good.
I remember Mark told me a story once of a horse in the Discord that he gave a horse out, and the horse won, and I think Mark had like a $50 double or something, like a significant bet to the horse, like it wasn't nothing. And some guy's like, oh, thank you so much for giving me that horse, and he had like a $200 double with the horse. And I was just like, I mean, good for you. If you trust Mark that much, you're just gonna bet $200 on some random horse that he likes. But yeah,
That's the crazy part. Like I've had that, happen. I'm sure Sarah can speak to that too. Like it's crazy where you give out a horse and it hits, and I might have a very modest bet on a $10 win bet or something like, and it's just something pretty modest, like I said, and then somebody in my replies will like screenshot, yeah, like $150 win bet. I'm like, holy, I didn't say to do that. Like I was, I'm just like, I don't know if that's the best decision to spend your money, but like I'm glad it hit. Like, geez, man. It feels good to like know you help somebody get a really big score. That's a great feeling, but it's a little nerve wracking when you start putting together your picks again, because you're like, man, somebody could really take this. I mean, and really take my picks, and it makes you just do that much better of a job, I think, at the end of the day, because it makes you understand you're doing this and people are just kind of following your picks blindly in some cases, or, including your picks in a pick 5 sequence, etc. So it gives you a little bit more accountability. And I think that's a good thing. I don't think that's something to shy away from.
Caleb had a funny one. What was your story, Caleb? with your brief touting experience. Do you remember? Wasn't it like a pick 5 or something that you gave out? And like you like changed the horse because of something, and like the pick 5 you gave out hit, but the one you played didn't or something.
There was something like that happened. It was a couple of years ago. Honestly, and that's yeah, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think long story short, I gave out a ticket, and then there was like a scratch, so I like switched an opinion and like updated it. But someone who played the original ticket, like without the scratch, ended up like scratching into a winner or something, and ended up of course the horse I missed was like the favorite. So yeah, ended up hitting it, and I didn't hit it, and they're like, "Oh, thank you, like great score," but yeah, honestly, like I respect the public handicappers because I find that very stressful.
The insanity for me was no balls on Derby Day because I had that horse for $2 to win and in a $1 exacta, and I made out really well. And then I started getting messages from people in Australia who like locked this stuff in and then like went to bed the night before, just locked it in, went to bed, and then woke up and they had like a couple like extra $1,000 in their accounts, like because they bet it like real big. And so like they sent me that, and I was like, holy shit. Not only that, not only did you put it in, but you locked it in like a day or so in advance. And then like had the balls to go to sleep for that. I couldn't believe it.
The speaking of no balls, probably the best handicapping job I think I've done in a long time was the BC. We did a group ticket in the Discord, and I just told everyone, I'm like, look, I'll take your opinions, but in the end, I'm going to kind of structure everything. We did I think the pick 6 and I think a pick 5, and then I had like $200 left over. I'm like, look, I'm going to do that all turf sequence. And I told everybody, I'm like, look, we're using no balls, and we're using I forgot the other horse I was using in there, but I was fading two of the short prices, the 2 short prices. But I'm like, we're using no balls, and sure enough, I think we ended up hitting it for like $3 or $4 or something, the pick 4, and so we basically got 5 or 6x back on the original investment, missing with most of our money on the other tickets. But I just never remember. I always forget. My brother pitched in with it, pitched in the ticket with me, and so we were at watching that thing live, and like watching my brother. I have not heard him root that hard for a horse ever, and I'm like, dude, like, you're gonna win. Your $100 investment's gonna turn back $500. But like, just like seeing like how excited he was, I was like, nowadays I'm like, if I hit for a couple $100, I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. Like that lets me play for the rest of the day. But like, do you see the amount of excitement that he had for hitting that ticket, dude? I mean, and just the amount of relief I had because it was something that Mark could never do, and that I was able to do. That just made me feel that much better. And unfortunately for Caleb, Caleb long time ago said, and I quote, "I will never not buy into the group ticket because I don't want you guys to hit and me not have a piece of it." And I think this is because of all the stuff with MIT. You did not get in on that ticket. So
apparently I am your kryptonite. Unfortunately,
there you go. I mean, we have not exactly had great luck.
Staff.
Yeah, we have not exactly had great luck on our joint efforts. Most notably that tournament we did,
the players or the whatever it was,
FloCal. Yeah, that was not. Yeah. That was I think we ended up with like $30 or something at the end of that 2-day thing. So that was pretty messed up. You guys ever do group tickets, Sarah and Matt? You guys ever do that, or
no? We're not friends.
Hey, look at Mark. Like, absolutely, like he will not. He's just like, no. He's like, I'll just play it on my own. He's no.
She said they're not friends.
No, Sarah and I will occasionally we'll chip in for a group ticket.
We usually play with Ed, if anything.
Yeah, and like we had a group ticket, like the Naira Bets team had a group ticket of the BC, and I had a separate ticket which I ended up hitting actually because I had no balls, and for some reason the group ticket did not want to have no balls, so I just did my own separate ticket that was successful. And then I have some of my buddies in Philly and I will do group tickets sometimes, but it's mostly because my one friend in Philly doesn't want his wife to know he's betting. So he's like, hey, man, do you want to do a group ticket so you can make the bet on your app and I'll just Venmo you $16? I'm like, sure, we'll do that.
Fencing for him. I love it. Yeah.
But yeah, I like doing group tickets. I mean, it's fun. And that's one thing I joke about the Philly guys. That's something we always do every Haskell day. We get together and we handicap kind of like this. We handicap a pick 5 in like 5 or 10 minutes, just like real quick. Who's your top 2 choices or something like that? And then we just kind of throw everybody's top 2 choices together into a group ticket. And we're like, oh, all right, well, this ticket's like $120 or something like that. Like, all right, everybody puts in $30. All right, great. And, we'll do that. So it's fun. I enjoy it at least. It's a fun way to have fun with friends.
I don't like doing the group ticket management thing. And the thing is, like, if I put in on a group ticket, like, I think of it as like me putting money into like a 401k. Like, if I put money into that 401k, like, and the dude from Charles Schwab keeps calling me and being like, hey, what kind of stock do you think I should do? What should I do with this 401k? Like, nah, dog. No, I put my money in so someone else could do this for me. Like, I'm blind faithing this group ticket. I'm not here for input. This is not what I'm paying for. I outsource this shit.
Caleb was very much the same way. He's like, no, I gave you the money so you can handicap it.
Yeah.
But
I did that. I did that to Mark. Mark was asking me. Told him very bluntly when Breeders' Cup was like, "Nah, dog. Like, I chipped in for you to do this, not for me."
Oh man, yeah. It's just I felt a ton of pressure doing it for the first time because I was just like, originally it started off like I just kind of blanket asked, and I was like, I don't want to take too much money, so like 1,200, like 1,200 was my cutoff basically, and I forget how much we got up to, but like after I cut it off, I had another like 6 or 7 people be like, oh, I missed this, I was gone this weekend, whatever, and so it just kept like ballooning, and then at a certain point, I'm like, man, like this, like just trying to put all that money through. Luckily, I was able to do it. I was able to do it through an upload, but I'm just like, yeah, it was just a ton of stress because it wasn't people like I really knew, right? It was the people from the Discord, right? Like, I think it's like I have no problem losing Caleb's money. He'll tell you.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah. He was talking when we were in Vegas. He had some grand ideas when he had a couple of adult cocktails, and I told him no. I was like, but if you would have said, hey, let's go to the club, I would have gladly taken his credit card to the club and gotten a couple of bottles of champagne on Caleb. But it's always just really. Really just stressful doing that stuff, and like I said, the public stuff too. Daniel said that he followed your advice, Sarah, about adding every track city to his weather app.
Yeah, man.
So,
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah. Hot Springs, Hallandale Beach, Tampa.
You'd think that I traveled, but I don't.
No. It's
yeah. Now, this is how you know your OGs. When you're New York City, New York is Ozone Park.
Yep.
That's how you know.
You got a separate one for Elmont?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep, I do. I do indeed. Hallandale Beach, Oldsmar, also not Tampa.
Oldsmar, that's a key.
True.
Yep. Oceanport, New Jersey, Shelbyville, Indiana.
If it's raining somewhere in Indiana, it's raining in Shelbyville.
I will say that Sarah and I have lived in New York City long enough to know that the difference between Elmont and Ozone Park is quite significant when it comes to rain, because I cannot tell you the number of times that we left our place and it's like, oh, not a bad day. We get to the track, just downpour.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, well, we're off turf. No.
What's funny is, like, we used to talk about this all the time on the Discord, like how the people that we knew that lived the closest to the track and like knew the weather like immediately were always just the worst at telling us what what the weather was and what the track was going to be like. I don't know how they managed to do it like every single time, but yeah, that's always, maybe that explains it. Is the migration?
We're looking at you, Mark. I mean, the guy that's like, oh, it's gonna be off the turf for sure tomorrow. I had 6 inches of rain at my house, and then it's like,
oh, our boy
confirmed the next
Capone.
one.
I love Andrew Capone. I love
Capone,
Andrew
too. He's
Capone,
bad,
but
too.
Capone is terrible. Was terrible about it.
Oh man, yeah, good old Capone. I had a thought, and I think when you were talking about Mark, but I forget now. I completely forget. But with you guys now doing Aqueduct, and then with the Saratoga. Oh, I remember now. The last day I believe that we were in Saratoga. Andy Sterling was very surly on Twitter because people people rightfully so, right, they were at that point the meet had kind of just been just not a Saratoga meet, right? It just a lot of negativity around it. Weather wasn't cooperating, right? No one can do anything about the weather, understandable. And I think Andy either said on Talking Horses or tweeted out, I'm sure there are
not with that attitude.
There are a lot of very unhappy people right now because it's beautiful in Saratoga right now. And no joke, a minute or two later, it just starts raining. It just starts raining, and it comes down pretty hard. And I was with Andrew Champagne. We had to run and find cover for a second. Luckily, it stopped after 2 or 3 minutes, right? And that was it. But I was just like, why would you put that out there in the world? How fickle the weather in Saratoga is. You can't be doing that. But that's one of the tough things. With Saratoga, I think Oak Lawn is another big one where the rain just comes. It just comes, and it just
and you see it with fairgrounds too down in New Orleans. I mean, that turf course is not known for taking water very well. And so it takes on a little bit of water, and it's like, all right, well, we're off turf for the next 3 days. And, it's just one of those things where, it's nothing they can control. It just, it happens. And obviously we've seen all the debacle with Churchill and their turf course as well. So, it's something where it's really, it's crappy. And it's one of those things where this summer, and Sarah can attest to this, if it was going to rain anywhere in upstate New York, it was going to rain on the Saratoga racetrack. Yep. It was not going to rain in Saratoga. It was going to rain on the racetrack. It was because I have one of my very best friends from college lives in Saratoga. I texted him the one day, is it downpour? And I go, it's a downpour at the house. He goes, I'm a mile and a half away. It's sunny and blue skies. And I'm like, this is insane. That if it was going to rain anywhere, it was going to rain at the track. And, we just got the bad kind of stick of it, and bad end of the stick on that. And, what are you going to do? But it's, it's been a little bit better since we've gotten back down to the city, and now, of course, we're off turf for the rest of this winter. But it's, I love it. It's one of those things.
I love when the turf goes under the shrink wrap. I love it when the turf goes under the shrink wrap. I want to go out there with a whole bunch of dish soap and a sprinkler and just see how fast I can get going on my belly on the shrink wrapped turf someday.
Well, you don't got a lot of time.
Could you guys make that happen for me?
You want to go sledding? You want to go sledding?
Oh, no. I want belly on saran wrap.
Okay, so no sled, but same idea.
No
shirt either.
Yeah, I want to be the toboggan.
Like a shameful slip and slide.
I know a guy.
Yeah. All slip and slides are inherently shameful, Caleb. But yeah, exactly.
Matthew, you mentioned the Churchill turf, I
Foxhound right, by the way. Foxhound right.
Chase could probably do four furlongs in 49.6.
Watch me. Do I'll be switching leads at the right time and everything.
I was going to say faster than a New York turf race. So, I mean, that's good pace.
If only we had a downhill.
Oh, there you go. He really got some speed then. You'd be like the Family Guy, the guy from Family Guy, the greased up guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the grease. Yeah.
Okay, while we're talking about Family Guy, should Chris Griffin ever take full advantage of his name and just have a voice changer for one day?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Did you see the picture of Chris Griffin, FYI, from when he was 19?
No, I
He
didn't.
makes Caleb look like a four.
What? I was like,
yeah, it was, you know,
I was
yeah.
like, what? Like was he an
It was a
actor or
smoke,
something?
man.
Like, geez.
Yeah, man. Salon quality hair. Just.
I mean,
boom.
not.
You can tell he's a California guy, right? I mean, that was, you know,
There
yeah.
you go. I mean,
You know what's funny is like everyone doing their like pictures of them when they're 19 is like you can tell for me and like I don't feel like I'm in the minority here is like how much horseplay has uglied me the fuck up. Just beat up by life now that I've been a horse player for a while. I do not have that same youthful charm.
I could not find a picture of me at 19. I found a picture of me
Same.
at 17. I found one
That's
at
a
like
good
20
story.
or
I'm gonna
21.
say that.
What about like the prom photo, Josh? I've seen it.
Yeah, that was 17.
That's
Or
17.
maybe I was 18. Yeah. So in high school, I used to perm my hair so it would be straight because I didn't like the curly hair. So
Yeah.
that way it would be straight and it would cover my eyes. If that tells you how,
Oh,
if
flock of
that
seagulls.
tells you what kind of music I used to
Like,
listen to back
Say,
in
throwing
the
some
early
eyeliner too,
2000s.
or-
Yeah, I've seen Taking Back Sunday about 8 or 9 times. So I mean that'll tell you a lot about the type of music I listen to. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good photo. I'll pull it out. Maybe I'll post that and be like, hey, this is 18.
Hey,
But
so right now my truck is being sold in my driveway. So something came up with that, and I have to like go and
It's your
run
next
and,
door
like-
neighbor who's buying it. What are you talking about?
No, the person who was working.
Oh,
on my,
I do
on
know
my-
who's buying it. You told me.
Yeah,
this. All right, never
so
mind.
they were gonna tow it off, but instead they're driving it off today, and so I have to like go and like help clean it out real quick because we didn't know they were towing it off. So
Yeah.
it's all good.
All right.
We're wrapping up anyways, Chase. But I appreciate you, man. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I'll talk to you soon, man.
all right, good to see you.
man.
By the way, I just want to say I nailed the long shot of the day at Turfway just now in the 8th race, 7-1.
Wow.
Hurry up, Hannah, getting home. If you listen to me on Naira Bets, you hit that one.
I saw
There you
that.
go.
I saw
There you
you
go.
post that, and I was like, "This horse is going to be way shorter." And I played, I think, like 3 or 4 races to start at Turfway,
Yeah.
and I had had after those couple of races. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is. I've seen how these couple of races have gone. I think I've had enough here. I will check out for the night. But yeah, it was pretty good. But I did want to bring up one last thing in just a huge moment of irony. Can you believe that Churchill Downs fired probably the only person who could maintain a proper turf course? Like,
If you're too good at your job, sometimes you'll have to be dismissed. I don't know.
So I actually met Harrison in person at a steeplechase event through Stable Duel this summer in Virginia, and he could not have been a nicer. He was such a nice guy, and you could tell instantly how knowledgeable he was about the turf, and he was, you know, the long view he takes of manicuring a turf course, and just like, this is what we have to do to get this course ready like 2 years from now, and like talking about the evolution of a turf maintenance. And it was just like, I just had so much respect for him, just the little bit I talked to him that day. And I mean, I think he got appointed by the governor of Virginia to some like turf maintenance. Like, I mean, this is a very well-respected person in his industry. And then I mean, that is universally one of the best turf courses in the country, and everybody will say that at Colonial Downs. Like, everybody says
It's
that. I
too
mean, that's
nice.
the best turf course
was
on the
too
East
good.
Coast, probably. And like, gets fired. That makes no sense to me.
hey, the
I'm
Breeders'
sorry.
Cup Turf Sprint winner ran over that as his prep.
Yeah. I don't know. Integration, who might be the best turf course in the country, you know, turf course right now running is ran over that 2 races ago. You know, that was, yeah, I was disappointed to see that. I was really sad. And I hope he'll inevitably land on his feet, but wherever he ends up, man, they're going to get a really good person. That's for sure.
Yeah. So what do you guys got going on for the rest of the year, Sarah? What you're still doing?
Yeah, Sarah, what
Yeah,
are you
what
doing?
are you doing?
What do you do?
Nothing this week, which is wonderful.
Nice.
No, we have a couple more days of live racing, so I'll be doing the same kind of thing that I've been doing for most of this month, which is talking horses, being on America's Day at the Races. We're also covering Oaklawn, which is great. We have expanded coverage with them, including our cross-country pick 5 every day that we have racing at both places. So you'll see a lot of tickets from myself as well as Jonathan Kinchin, possibly some others thrown in there. If you want to play along, if you hate our picks or you like some of our picks or you want to just be a part of that wager. It's been kind of complex so far as the sequences. I think one of them paid 13,000, other one paid like 23. So they've been some decent payouts and not super easy to hit either. So definitely good to be involved with that. But yeah, kind of the same old as far as what I've been doing for the past month or so. And then going into next year, we'll have some people back from vacation. So we'll have a couple more friendly faces on the show.
Nice. You going home? You going home at all? Or are you gonna stay put?
I'll go see some friends, but no.
Okay. Matthew, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of stuff. Even this week, Santa Anita opening up, so we're gonna have some stuff on Dire Bets for the Great Race Place and the 6 graded stakes races to open the card on Boxing Day, as the Canadians would refer to it as, and and then obviously all the stuff with the cross country pick 5s with Oaklawn, like Sarah was saying, as well. And then we're, tons of evergreen content, the betting 101, the handicapping 101 stuff you mentioned, Josh, that's up on the Naira Bets. And again, that's something, if you're not a member of Naira Bets, that's fine. You can just go to nairabets.com. You can have the app. It's all free. I mean, you don't have to be a member to get any of this stuff. So, I mean, obviously we hope you use our app and wager through us, but all that stuff is out there just for you to consume. So all my picks, analysis of different graded stakes races. We got some the Amerikanen over in Japan this Sunday. Got some stakes previews of that. So a lot of stuff. And then this coming up this summer, or I should say this winter, Acacia and I just found this out today. Very exciting. Acacia and I, breaking news on the Wrong Lead. Acacia and I will be doing a monthly or like bi-weekly Twitter live stream to cover Florida racing as well between Tampa and Gulfstream Park. So I'm excited to work with her on that, and that should be a lot of fun.
Fun. And what about holiday plans? Staying put, going home?
I'm up here with my girlfriend in Schenectady, and we're going to go hang out with her family and have a wonderful time. And her one lab is recovering from ligament surgery. And so we're just keeping an eye on that fella and trying to make sure he doesn't run around the yard. And that is an uphill battle. Right
So
now.
meet you at Rivers in about a couple hours here?
Yeah. Rivers Casino in no time at all. Exactly.
Only thing I know about Schenectady is there's a Rivers Casino, and I think our buddy Kevin lives in Schenectady. So so shout out to Kevin. Caleb, obviously everyone can see that you're in West Virginia because it just looks like West Virginia. The camera grain, the grainy video and everything like that. But any fun plans or anything going on rest of the week?
No, nothing really. It's good to be home for a little bit. It's been a number of years since I've been back for Christmas, so looking forward to just seeing family, friends. I know we've got a couple of days in New York racing left in the year. San Diego has a good card on the 26th, so I'm sure I'll be involved. I haven't really been keeping up with the racing most of the fall, so it'll be good to have a couple weekends to just burn some money.
Someone's asking about the Coast to Coast pick 5. Is that the cross country pick 5, or is that
is a different thing, and that is not our company.
Oh, that's that's Stronach, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Santa Anita, before we log off, do they not have the most fraudulent grade 1 in like the history of? I mean, I know the graded stakes like committee is just like broken, but like is the Malibu still a grade 1? I didn't see if they still have it graded as a grade 1, but like come on,
yeah,
they do.
There are worse grade 1s now. Come on.
I mean,
there are worse.
I mean, I've started to adhere more to Chuck Simon's approach, which is that no Kentucky Derby prep race should be a grade 1 because it is a prep race for a grade 1. And the logic of like, oh, the Arkansas Derby is a grade 1. Like, why exactly is that a grade 1 when, like, is Angel of Empire going to keep that in, a grade 1 race?
I mean, American Pharaoh, though, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we can all find a race for good. But I do
Not
like
the
that
Franklin
logic of like,
Simpson.
listen, you can't
Come on.
you can't prep for a race. That is a great one. But yeah, I guess congrats for Kentucky Downs for getting.
Wait, is that a 3-year-old restricted race too?
The Franklin Simpson is, yeah.
The your sprint.
Look at the thing that kills me is how are restricted 3-year-old races after
After
September?
The fall, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Like after the Travers, if you're still 3-year-old restricted race, why? Like especially the thing about the Malibu, it's even more egregious after the Breeders' Cup.
Right.
Give me a break. I don't know, but yeah.
Derma Sotogake for 3-year-old of the year, right here. That's where my vote's going.
I'm with you.
We've told you the Derma Sotogake story,
You owes
right?
me money.
Caleb and I, we got a proxy in Vegas to put down the maximum amount bet on Derma Sotogake on the futures. Me, Caleb, and Cash, because I was gonna put $100 on it, and they told me, oh, the limit's 300, and so I was like, oh well, see if these other guys, we'd all been talking about the horse.
Yeah.
So we get the max amount down. What do we get? 25 to 1, 50 to 1?
25 to 1, I think.
Yeah. And we were counting our money. We saw the field, it was getting worse, and then we're like, this is gonna be great. This is gonna set up for, and it was.
Do you not feel
tough.
a little vindicated by his Breeders' Cup performance, though? At least like this much.
Oh, I totally do. I mean, I feel completely, because I was on his.
Yeah.
I was stumping for him all the Derby prep rail, and then he blew it. I mean, he almost unseated Lemaire coming out of the starting gate, and finished 6th. And I thought actually ran pretty well that day, all things considered, and then goes out and runs better than any other 3-year-old in that race. That's for damn sure.
Off a huge layoff,
and, it hadn't run since the Derby, and just I mean, that horse is a lot better than anybody we had in this country, in my opinion. So I just including Arcangelo, that's just my opinion. But I just thought he was dominant. I mean, I went back and watched that UAE Derby. Just silly how good he is in that race. So that's my boy, and he's running again this week, so that's exciting.
Where at? I've been out of the loop.
Over in Japan.
Okay.
For the
they want to run him in Saudi, right? Is that the plan, or
next year? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules, your holiday schedules, for BSing with me and playing along with my little contest. We will get this posted up on Twitter somewhere, and we'll track this, and we'll see how we do. I forgot to mention, and I'll have you guys can DM me or whatever. Winner will get $50 from me donated to the charity of their choice.
Aww,
so figure it's
That's
the holiday spirit. It's a holiday contest. I'll let Chase know. I'm sure Chase is going to pick the charity of some wolf charity or something. I'm sure he's got.
I think his truck's getting repossessed, so he's probably going to
so this charity. Oh no, the Oak Lawn Horse Player charity. But
the Human Fund.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but we'll get a list of charities if you guys want to get that to me, and we can I can get that posted up, and we'll see how we do here with the 5 minutes, and everyone have a happy holiday season, Merry Christmas, and we will catch you guys later.
Let's go! Where's the fucking line?